a space for my fans and me to interact, make art and have fun. It's a one-man show and entirely free. I do it every single week except some. I'm waiting to go, it's all live and online, so you should stick around and say hello. Are you feeling creative? Cause now's the time. Welcome to the Most Week Show.
I am not me. I am art. And I am welcoming you to the Most Week Show. It is currently 9:05 a.m. I like to be precise with that. On the 26th of April, 2020. You are live with me right now, and I thank you for that. If we were allowed to be together physically, I would show my appreciation for you physically with a hug, with a kiss, or with a little ruffle of your hair, like the little cheeky scamp that you are. As 'tis, best I can do is I can raise a glass to you. You can raise a glass to me as well, if you like. Nothing's going to stop you. No law in the land preventing you. No court in the land would convict you. We always like to start the show here with a toast. It's kind of a thing, a tradish. So here goes. To you, to me, to the number 13, which is the number of this episode, and a word that definitely rhymes with me. Listen, if Bon Jovi can rhyme I want to be as close as the Holy Ghost is, and everyone still thinks he rocks harder than anyone else alive, then you can let me off for me and 13, okay? Cheers. Delicious and delightful. Life-bringing. Life-bringing. Good morning, everybody. Emma Hadley 100, strong orange cordial at the ready. Delicious and delightful. Killer Kilch, good morning. Sadie Shortlegs 96, hashtag yo. Second Opinion Psychic, your body is ready. Body and mind, I hope. Mind's going to be getting a workout. Body largely is just going to be sitting there. Pike Place with the people. Absolutely. Sadness. Juice Dota, hi. Definitely not Duda, hi. Your girl Sarah Kilch, cheers. Cheers to all. Cheers to all. Classic water here. Monkey Pixie. I gotta tell you, bro. I'm with you, yeah? Drinking some water this morning. The simple reason, cameraman George, last night, sat by, watched me cook a family frozen apple pie for well over an hour. It took ages, ended up eating really late. Before informing me that he didn't really like those apple pies because they were a little too artificial tasting and sickly. Could have mentioned it before. So out of respect for the pie, I had to eat, I couldn't finish the whole thing, but certainly the lion's share of it. And he may have had a point, actually, about it being too sugary, too sickly. This morning my teeth are feeling pretty delicate, kind of like tissue paper. So I thought I'd stick to water, avoid any sugary drinks at all. It's called being a responsible adult. Here we go. Très bien. How are we all? 13. We're on episode 13 here, guys. Welcome to episode 13. Who thought we'd get here, huh? Me, obviously, because I'm a firm believer in my abilities. It is a number of great import. To a lot of people. Friday the 13th is seen as an unlucky day when the devil will try and just mess with you because he's a jerk. There are no 13th floors on a lot of buildings, interestingly, because they think that people won't want to live on that floor. It doesn't matter to me. My building only goes up to 7 floors. That's the top floor. I live on the 7th floor. Top floor, penthouse, some might say. And then also, of course, traditionally, even if they promise you that they will, friends won't show up to your 13th birthday party. It's just superstition. But as I say, we build our own fate, don't we, around here? In this family, we build our own fate. This is the 13th episode, but I'm confident it'll go by perfectly. Try your worst, devil! If you think that some disastrous errors and failures will disrupt me, you've obviously never watched this show before. You know? I mean, if you're going to read the thing, it just says, go away, the devil. And that's really the attitude that I've got this week. Feel free to make me seem like I'm as unlucky as here we go. Bish, bash, whomp. A little fade. As unlucky as. Complete this simile. Think of someone who is unlucky, or someone who would be unlucky were a certain thing to happen to them, and use it to finish this simile. And don't just say something simple, like any of the characters featured in the Alanis Morisette standard ironic, who I suppose must be both unlucky and ironic. Use your imaginospheres, yeah? To go deeper, yeah? Go more creative. Maybe it's someone who is unlucky enough to have never even heard Ironic by Alanis Morisette, or any of the Jagged Little Pill album. Whoa! Doesn't bear thinking about. I mean, I don't want to do your work for you. It's your choice. But really get in there, really make something unique. And at the end of the show, I'll pick a winner. And if that's you, your name will go at the... Oh, we did it! We did it! Family Simile winner last week. Go on the ticker. It was, indeed, Stuart Seaton last episode with As Natural as Watching the Most Week show live on Sundays. A great simile, and one that you can't disagree with. Because, I mean, you are watching live, right? Self-fulfilling prophecy. Unless, of course, you're watching after the fact on Twitch or on YouTube, which is a real possibility. If you are watching on YouTube, of course, like and subscribe, guys. Really gunning for that custom URL for 100 subscribers. I'd love it if you could get me one step closer. Anyway, next time it could be you, so let's get commenting. Let's go back to Maine. Oh, I like that painting one. So how are we doing? Let's have a look at, see what we're saying here today. Monkey Pixie is of the opinion that 13 is not an unlucky number, similar to the Italians and employees of Colgate. True story. Cheers with Powerade. Zaddy Shortlegs 96. You're going for a real heavy Sunday there. Stuart Seaton can't join us today. He's being an absolute superstar, putting away his 93-year-old nan-in-law's laundry. Not even his actual nan. Now, that's a real gentleman. Because if it's his nan, he's kind of biologically, drawn to her. Nan-in-law, he's just doing it out of the goodness of his H. Yeah? What a good lad. What a good lad. A shame that he can't see his, the glory of his thing, unless he watches it afterwards on the replay on Twitch or on YouTube from Thursday. Not today, Satan. Not today. Absolutely. Aflo wants to chat but cannot because settings. I don't know who Aflo is, but that sounds like an excuse. Maybe you shouldn't have said that Notme, the devil, can be pretty bad. He can be pretty bad. Yeah, he can be pretty bad. But do you know what? I'm going to stand up to him. Last week we learned about bravery, didn't we? From Adrian Flaws. And I'm keeping that going. Yeah, I'm going to be brave. As unlucky as Adrian, who's trying to chat but isn't able to and can only listen to this show. Oh, so is that Aflo? Well, Adrian, Aflo, a pump, whatever you wish to be called, thanks for joining us, even if it is in kind of old-timey, just listening to the radio. Unlucky as a raccoon after trash day, because they like the trash, don't they? They like the trash. Trash pandas, I've heard them referred to as before. Seem pretty cute, which is how a lot of people get you, actually. They seem attractive and cute, and then they just really mean, actually. As unlucky as a bride who, along with 40-odd other guests, gets food poisoning on her wedding day and suffers with it for her honeymoon. Gosh, yes. That sounds really rough. Unless the honeymoon is at some kind of one of those spa retreats where they do a lot of colonic irrigation, in which case maybe she's ahead of the game. I don't know, putting the positive spin on it. As unlucky as everyone who didn't watch 13 live episodes. That's a lot of you. That's a lot of you. At the start, we didn't have that many. We did not have that many. That's fantastic. This is fantastic. Lucky as injecting myself with disinfectant. That would be unlucky, because you're only following orders, right? You're following orders from the highest office in the land. And if they turn out to be bad, real bad luck that you listened to that particular advice. As unlucky as not completing a critical level on Mario. Yeah, it's too soon.
I give props cause though I'm great, there's lots of art I see that's made by artists that are almost but not quite as good as me. I am a giver, super selfless, gather round to see just who will get a most sought after, Notme branded. Well done you.
What an intro there, what an intro. If anyone wants to record themselves singing that intro, if you can remember all the lines, you'll get to go on the show. That's the solid gold truth. That's the solid gold truth. So, well done you. We've got a little empty space here. A little empty space here. Who is it? Well, this week's well done you recipient, because it is an award. It is an award. It's a very special person indeed. I'm going to maintain the surprise for just a little while longer and tell you instead that the winner is the person or concept that created the following piece of art. Ooh, the following piece of art. The bold colours there, a radial nature to the shapes, and a real playfulness, in my opinion, in the overall composition. Does anybody know who created this? Any guesses? Any guesses out there? I mean, it's a real... I like the green border as well. Ooh. I don't know, I think the chat's pretty... George, Killer Kilch. Killer Kilch in there with a bullet. Killer Kilch. George, it's not actually. But it's close enough, and I appreciate your efforts on that. It is not George, it's his bro. It's his bro, actually. Bosh, this one. Prince Louis, yeah? Louis. His Royal Highness Prince Louis of Cambridge. So, he's a kid, and he did some finger painting. Big whoop. Why is he getting a well done you? Well, let me tell you why, yeah? Let me tell you why. This young lad was asked to produce some art for his 2nd birthday to commemorate the day, to inspire and encourage the people of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland who are suffering and toiling through this terrible pandemic. Kind of like what I do every week with the Most Week show. Now, at this point, he had a choice to make, didn't he? He had a decision to make. What art should he create? A sculpture of a pair of hands, perhaps? A lithograph depicting the strength of a nurse? Maybe he should weave a festive tapestry to bring the country together. Maybe. Maybe. Louis didn't go in for none of that. Louis knew that high art, though powerful, was limited in scope. Louis knew, like Shakespeare before him, and more recently, like Notme, that if you really want to speak to the people, you have to speak in their language, yeah? You have to make your art as simple as the commoner on the street, with their slack jaws, and their chewing gum, and their cheap jewellery. And how simple can you get? Finger painting, yeah? You don't even need a brush. Splodge it on your palm, and there we go. It's inspired. He could have created some 4-dimensional conceptual art that would have blown the mind of everyone who is clever enough to get it. I would have got it, if he'd explained it sufficiently. But he went for finger painting, something that every dumb bum with some paint and a couple of hands could replicate. Maybe even one hand, although it would make the application of the paint a little trickier. Now Louis, this guy, there he is, gets it, yeah? He gets it. And for those of you who are doubting him, yeah, because I could sense some doubt, saying that he's only 2 and this is just the best that he could do, let me remind you of something. Prince Louis is a royal. He is a prince, yeah? Do you know what that means? It means that he is simply better than the rest of us, a higher level of human. He and his lineage have been chosen by God himself and given the divine right to rule over all of Britannia. He can do whatever he flippin' well pleases, yeah? And if you still doubt, still doubt, have a look at that. Have a look at that. He turns the art on himself creating something that is 3, maybe even 4 times more conceptually complex than the handprint. All hail this baby! So, His Royal Highness Prince Louis of Cambridge, for having the foresight to know just what art would bring the country together in its hour of need. I say well done you. Good lad. Of course, you know, as with any artiste, it doesn't hurt, of course, that he is cute as a button. So that is well done you. Woo, starburst. What have we got? What have we got? Inspired by Notme. He may have been inspired by Notme. You are our art prince, Notme. Thanks, Kelch. Appreciate that. Weave a festive tapestry. 4-dimensional, my brain just exploded. And that's what he was trying to avoid. How would it look if Prince Louis, simply by his art, had caused brains to explode all over the country? Reduced the strain on some public services, certainly. But I don't think most people would have seen it that way. $7,000 shirt on a baby. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. And he's got a little bit of it, the paint on it. So, you know, fair play to him. As unlucky as guessing wrongly in this week's art bet. Huh. You want to put that to the test, Emma Acton? You want to put that to the test, do you?
Art bet! To challenge yourself is artistic. Art bet! I'll give you options you can pick. Art bet! Take a guess, see if you won. Art bet! It's not for money, just for fun. Art bet!
There we go. Yeah, there's the art bet. There's the art bet. Almost got me, devil. Almost. But I fought through. It's everybody's favourite part of the show. It's art bet. Are you all ready? Are you all excited? Banging tunes, says Emma Acton. Absolutely. Absolutely. Art bet yeah, absolutely. It does rock. Now, you already saw the beginning of this bet last week, didn't you? Do you remember? Before I was derailed into playing Super Mario Bros. In order to exorcise my father's doubt of me. I'm sure you can remember that it all worked perfectly. Even though there were a lot of technical considerations. Do you remember? Do you remember that? I hope you do remember that, because everything worked out, didn't it? Everything worked out from a technical standpoint, except I wasn't able to succeed at the task. And that's fine. Maybe another day. Yeah? Maybe another day. Anyway, here is the bet that was interrupted. Not me. Over to you, baby. What have you got for us? There's no sound, is there? There's no sound. Give me 2 seconds. Devil, you are pushing my buttons, baby. And not the right buttons that would ensure that there was some audio in this video. Not me. Over to you. Thanks, Not Me. Today's art challenge will be undertaken by Not Me. In this modern, crazy world that we all live in, we've all become so tangled in our lives, so knotted and snarled in our pursuits and our objectives. We want to ensure that the people around us have a high opinion of us. We want to go to the gym frequently enough to have a healthy-looking body. We want to pursue an unprocessed diet to maintain gut health. We want to buy the latest products from the brands we love. We want to stay young. We want to be rich. Tangled, tangled, tangled. Much like these headphones that I found the other day when I was so bored during quarantine that I actually tidied up. And that's one of the benefits, isn't it, of the quarantine, that it gives you time to pursue things that you wouldn't ordinarily have time to do. But also, it gives us time to take stock of our lives and consider what's really important. When the world goes back to the new normal, which parts of your life do you wish to carry forward and which do you wish to leave in the quarantine? We must declutter, refocus, untangle. That's my art challenge. Your art bet is simply, how quickly will I be able to do it? Back to you, Notme. Thanks, Notme. Thank you, baby. So, it's about detangling. It's got a wider context, as all of these do. It's metaphorical, deal with it. Can you make a bet yet? No, you can't, because you don't have all the information. Let's see some things to consider. Thing number 1. There are 9 sets of headphones in this. I was not able to count them beforehand because it's just, you saw it. It was like spaghetti there. It was crazy. There are 9, sets of headphones here. That's a lot of headphones. Free headphones from, various mobile phones over time, cell phones, plane trips. Flying on the plane, you get the free. Lots of, not particularly kind of quality, but 9 sets of headphones overall. Okay. What else have we got? Thing to consider, number 2. The time will be recorded by me using my iPad stopwatch. Why do I point that out? Well, because that's going to add a certain amount of time. Yeah? So it's pressing it, and then I'm starting. And then once I'm finished, it's not finished when I put the 9th thing down. Absolutely not. It's when I go back. And so if, not saying that there definitely is, but if I have trouble finding the right button, then that might add an extra second or 2. Yeah? So I just want to make you aware of that before it happens. Just so you know. Yeah? Thing to think of, number 3. Oh, even though many of them were free, I do not wish to harm any headphone. There we go. That's a bit brighter. I do not wish to harm any headphone. So there will be no instances of me just ripping and tearing. They all must be intact at the end. Okay, so that does require a little bit of extra careful, unthreading. Yeah, I want these intact because as much as I can afford it, I could afford to just throw them all out. But that wouldn't be responsible, and also then I wouldn't maybe be able to sell them to Goodwill afterwards. So I want to keep all headphones absolutely intact. So let's see what our options are here. Standard rules apply. So no minutes to 2 minutes is not technically to 2 minutes. We've been through this before, but for any new viewers, going up to 2 minutes is like 1 minute 59 and like 99999. Yeah, as soon as we actually go on to 2 minutes, bang, we're on to option B. And the same with all the rest of them. The only one we don't have to worry about, of course, is E, 8 minutes plus. So I see that Nana Hobob went to say E, assuming it was the most optimistic. I flip reversed it on you, dude. It's actually A would be the most optimistic. But if you want to stay with E, it's absolutely your choice. It's unlucky as waking the devil from his Sunday nap. Yeah. You don't want that. He does often nap on Sunday because that's when we're all getting into God. Waffles for breakfast. Okay, that's nice to brag. I haven't had breakfast yet because I'm doing this, so let's not brag about that. D, B, C, C, D, B, 342 from your girl Sarah Kilch. I respect that. M. Hadley 100A, my faith in you remains undiminished. That's great because you're actually particularly negative about me last week. So I appreciate that faith shown in me. 2 of us typing on different screens. One of us has made an account but cannot comment yet. Okay, that's fine. I'm sticking with E, B. In it for the long haul. Absolutely, baby. In it for the long haul. Just more time with Notme is never a bad time. This, again, as with previous ones, this has been truncated and edited and sped up at certain points. So even if it is 8 minutes plus, you're not going to be watching 8 minutes and plus. Okay. Evil laugh. Okay. SJPEX72, C. Anna Karine goes for B. Okay. A wide range of options. Because I think what I've done cleverly here is I've picked something that nobody's ever timed before. That's how you do it. That's how you get them. Not me. Good luck, bro. Okay, here we go. We have our secondary camera up here. 2 cameras?
We have our timer.
we have the microphone sellotaped to some kind of ornament that I bought on a whim once. Good luck, everybody. Let's get it started. Feel free to just get down to this music as well. Oh, Lord. This is a real job. This is a real job, guys. I'm just going to do it one by one. I think this white one seems to have been relatively untangled in the large group. So let's see how we do with this. Here's one, and let's make sure that this is detangled itself. They've got to be detangled themselves. Okay, this is one. One. This is one. This is one. It's only taken just over a minute. Okay, here we go. Emma Acton, I think we're watching the world record right now, yeah? We're watching that world record. Brother. This is like surgery. This is like I'm doing surgery. Surgeon. That's number two. That's number two. Less than a minute that time. Okay, so I'm speeding up. That one's a little easier. Okay, so that one's 3. Gosh. Really rolling now. Although A has passed. That's number 3. 4. That's number 4. Now we're just left with black ones, and you know what they say about black headphones. They all kind of look the same, so this could be tricky. That was easy. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The jangle method can only take you so far. That's what I'm learning here. The jangle method can only take you so far. That's another one. Last 2, I think. 6. It's actually kind of unfair me doing this particular challenge that's centered on uncluttering your life, because I mean, if it was a martial art, I would have a black belt in uncluttering my life. You know? I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I've got almost nothing going on. So. Takes time, guys. Takes time. The pace has really fallen off. Wow, really fallen off with these last ones. That was not what I was expecting. I thought that the later it got, the fewer headphones there would be, the easier it generally gets. That's one. That's another one. That's another one. I've entirely lost count of how many there are, but that's another one. And this is... Oh, these are 2 left. Gosh. Gosh, they're tricksy little fellows, aren't they? And then final... Stop. There we go. There's the winning time. Woo! That was a lot trickier than I thought. Congratulations to those of you who won, who guessed correctly. Well done, you. Use this as a sign that this upcoming week is going to be better than all of the kind of gelatinous blob of time that quarantine is, that this small part will kind of rise up like croutons in soup. For those of you who didn't guess correctly, don't worry about it. It's just untangling headphones. It doesn't really mean a thing. But thank you all for playing. Gosh, now I just need to work out what I'm going to do with all of these headphones. I mean, I've only got 2 ears. He's having a great time. Look at this. Look how much he's laughing. 2 ears! This guy cracks me up. There we go. So D's. Who won? Let's go back. Let's have a look. Any D's? TB Douglas, congrats. Emma Acton, congrats. And not a lot else. A lot of faith. I think saying you got too much faith is maybe not the best way of putting it. I would say you give it a try. It's actually really difficult. I did my best. And in these art bets, it's not about succeeding, it's about giving it a try. Yeah, if you're giving it a try, you are creating the art through the try. The art of the try. Yeah? So that's what we should be focused on. That's what we should be focused on. But congratulations. Again, a wonderful, wonderful segment, and one with minor, if any, I mean, I'm not even sure I noticed any technical hiccups. Cheers. We all had faith in you, us adoring fans, absolutely. Fine, I'll send the video. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. If anyone wants to make an attempt at any of these art bets, Emma Acton did it before. She ended up in a well done you. I can't guarantee that that'll happen every week, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. See, I said it would be unlucky for you. Unlucky. Yeah, sure. Dang. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough situation. But we're doing all we can. Finally, what have we got finally? Well, I know what we've got finally. It's your not favourite bit, because that was the art bet, but hopefully second, or maybe even third.
When and what and who and why? Is she for real? Am I going to die? Whose genes are these? How big is a crow? If you ask Notme, then you'll know.
Ask Notme, there it is. Ask Notme. We've got a wonderful question here that's come in from one of you guys, actually. TB Douglas just won art bet, so well done to TB Douglas. TB Douglas is one of the, I don't want to overstate things, but geniuses who watched the very first episode of the Most Week show. And feel free to out yourself in the comments if you were there day one, 19th of January. And then make some predictions for the lottery numbers, because you can clearly see magic coming in the distance. So well done you. But TB Douglas has asked a question that is prompted by the very outstanding video transition that you just watched. Okay, week after week they have watched that Ask Not Me opening and pondered. And finally, the pondering got too much, and they had to ask. They had to ask the question, okay? Couldn't take it anymore. How big is a crow? Not me. How big is a crow? Okay? Well, TB, if I can call you TB, the crow, as we all know, is a member of the corvus family of birds, along with the jackdaw, the rook, and the raven. And let me tell you this, what's the point in me telling you how big a crow is if you don't know how big the others are? I mean, they're all black birds, okay? But which is the biggest? Let's differentiate. Yeah? Let's differentiate between these birds. To answer this important question, I don't want to say I went above and beyond, but I went above and beyond. Okay? So without further ado, please enjoy something that I like to call O Corvus. I am not me, I am art, and I don't know about you guys, but I often find myself struggling to recall the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. I can only assume you're in a similar boat. So what do we do? What do we do when we can't remember something? What can we do to help ourselves? Well, we can come up with something called an aid memoir. Which translates as an aid memory, which just means a memory aid, something to help us remember. So what I did, I took the liberty, obviously art and creation, that's my gift, and I used that gift to write a rhyme or a poem to help myself out. And I thought that by sharing it with you, hopefully in the future, if you find yourself in a situation where you are unable to remember the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus, then you'll be able to recall this rhyme and just help yourself out of that particular pickle. Okay, so here we go. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, who's just a bit more wee. Scottish for small. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen, which is a lovely word, smidgen. And then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. And that's it. That's just that's the poem. That's the rhyme. So you don't have to remember a lot, which is good, because if you have to remember a lot in order to remember something else, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. But that's I'll do it once more. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. And then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. And we all know how big a pigeon is. So that has helped me out a huge amount in this very specific situation. And I hope it does the same for you. One thing that helps me quite a lot, actually, when it comes to remembering things, is it's easier to remember something if it is set to music. So along with being gifted when it comes to writing rhymes, I'm also, long-time fans will know that I am also very gifted when it comes to making beats. I'm a beat maker, much like Timbaland. So if you just indulge me a little bit, I took the liberty of crafting up a very simple beat that I think will complement the rhyme and just really allow this to take a hold in your long-term memory. So you'll be able to recall it if at any point in the future you find yourself struggling to recall the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. Okay, let's get to that beat. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen, easier to, gets in there. Then we've got Jackdaw, easier to remember, who's as big as a pigeon. Once more, Raven is the biggest, yeah, he's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, you remembered that, just a bit more wee. Who's next? Rook is smaller still, that's right, yes, but only by a smidgen. Finally, then we've got Jackdaw, remembered that, who's as big as a pigeon. Just makes it a bit easier. Bass, Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, just a bit more wee. Yeah, Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. Shamow! Then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. Let's keep this going now. Raven is the biggest, you know he is. He's as big as he can be. And then we've got Crow, Mr. Crow, just a bit more wee. You know he is. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. And then we have got Jackdaw, who is roughly the size of a pigeon. Yeah, Raven is the biggest, feeling it, big as he can be. You know he is. Then we got Crow, Senor Crow, who's just a little bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, yeah, but only by a smidgen. Then we got Jackdaw, woo, who's as big as a pigeon, feeling it. Raven is the biggest, yeah, he is big as he can be. And then we have got a man called Crow, who's just a bit more wee. Now Rook is smaller still, by a lot, no, only by a smidgen. And then we've got Jackdaw, Jackie Dawes, who's roughly the size of a little bitty pigeon. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. we got crow. Yeah, just a little bit more wee. Rook is smaller still. You know he is. And then we've got jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. You can miss out lines if you want. That's it. That's the rhyme, a song, hopefully, that will help you remember the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. As I say, it's helped me out a lot, and I hope it helps you out too. Oh, Raven is the biggest, he's as big as he can be. Then we got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. Then we got Jackdaw, big as a pigeon. Raven is the biggest, he's as big as he can be. Then we got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. And then we got Jackdaw, big as a pigeon. Oh Corvus, you're the birds of mystery. You've captured imagination since the dawn of history. Feathers are black, eyes are wild, you live inside my dreams. I look at you and I wonder, is everything as it seems? Oh, Corvus! So that is, I am Notme, I am art, and I hope that never again will you be embarrassed in a situation in which you are unable to recall the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. And there we go. So hopefully that will just, that'll just stick with you, hopefully. I hope it's, kind of burned into your head for a long time to come. Then, you won't, as I say, be embarrassed. A lot of people enjoying that. Surprise encore, OMG, yeah. Lots of microphones and notes, which is good. Corvus Shake could be called it. Could be called that. This song has replaced my PIN number in my long-term memory. That's maybe more than I was hoping for, so I do apologise about that, M. Hadley 100. But maybe you shouldn't have been so negative last week. So we've almost come to the end. We've got one further very important piece of business, and I know you're all waiting for it. So let's just get it out of the way, shall we? Let's just do this. Boom, killer kilch. As unlucky as living on the 13th floor thinking it's the 14th floor. It tells a story. Yeah? It tells a story. So, it says, you've moved in on the 13th floor, on the 14th floor, and you think, gosh, I've avoided that one. That one's great. But then you get in the lift and you think, gosh, what's going on with these numbers? There is no 13th floor, aka 14th is 13th. That's how the devil gets you. That's how the devil gets you. He says, they're not going to want to move in on the 13th floor. So what if I just change, right? He's always thinking. All together now. Go away, the devil. But congratulations, Killer Kilch. Absolutely fantastic work. Told a real story. And I love stories. I love being told stories. So well done. You will be on the ticker for next week. Can Red Rooster Duo add this absolute anthem to their covers repertoire? Absolutely. Cover it as much as you like. If I saw, if you send me a video of anybody performing that song, I mean, what a joy that would be for me to create something and have it come back to me. Like it's like a, message in a bottle. I throw it out and it comes back. Ideally, it would come back with money. Some kind of royalties, but if not, that's absolutely fine. Please, go for it. Next Sunday is my birthday. Please, can I have a song about penguins? Sure. Congratulates. Kilch killed it. She did. Happy to pass the simile torch to you. Fantastic, Stuart. It's that kind of humility that we learned earlier, something about a nan-in-law. I've forgotten it now, but at the time it really moved me. Snaps to you. Snaps to you. So that is it. Another spectacular episode over. Do you know what? I was worried halfway through the episode. I was like, oh, we're going to have a really quick episode. Not so much. I forgot how long that song was. Another spectacular episode over. Joke's on you, devil. We made it. Despite all of your efforts, our positivity, our courage, and our creativity hath conquered you. Go away, the devil. I'll see you the next Friday the 13th. Which is in November, fact fans. I hope you have all had fun and felt creative and learned a little something. Fear not, there will be another episode next Sunday because the world just deserves it at the moment, yeah? And I'll see you all there. Feel free to use the suggestion box. Nobody's used it so far, but feel free to use it. Feel free to email me poems. Remember, the current theme is bravery. I got one yesterday that rocked my world to its very core. I could barely speak afterwards. But there was nobody in the room, so it would have been inappropriate anyway. But email me any other art you've made, anything inspired by what I've done, anything that you want my take on, a link even. Gosh, what an interesting news story. I wonder what Notme has to say about this. Send it over. I am Notme, I am art @gmail.com. I always love getting emails that aren't from Asian singles because they often turn out to be fake. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very, very much for watching Killer Kilch. Well done with the family simile. Congratulations to TB Douglas for getting your question answered and for winning the art bet. There's someone else who won the art bet as well. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you all so much. Monkey Pigsy, definitely not Duda. Zeddy Shortlegs 96, SJ Beck 72. Your girl Sarah Kilch, Stuart Seaton for getting in there at the end. Emma Hadley 100, definitely not Duda. Everybody. Juice Dota, everybody. Cheers to you. I am Notme, I am art, and I am wishing you a very happy and a very lucky, go away the devil, and a very creative week ahead. All the best to you and yours, and I will see you next week. Cheers. Well, that was a little better. Not as many technical things. Yeah, but it's not going to be perfect, is it? Perfect isn't interesting from a creative... Shut up, George.
What a great show we all made just now. It was creative, live and divine. You did wonderful work, so go and take a bow. Just a slightly smaller bow than mine. So I'll see you right here next week, same time. What'll happen, gosh, I just don't know. But I can promise you this, I'm going to blow your mind. Next week on the Most Week Show.